Welcome to the hot topics of Edge of NFT. I'm Richard Carthon. I'm here with Josh Kriger, and we're diving into the latest and most exciting developments in the world of Web3, blockchain, and digital assets.
It's another production of Edge of Company, a quickly growing media ecosystem empowering the pioneers of Web3 tech and culture.
Today, we're covering a landmark cryptocurrency ruling in India, a fraudulent app that drains users' crypto assets, and a major partnership forged between Coinbase and Stripe.
It's time to dive in. First up, we've got a landmark ruling from India that's making waves in the crypto community. Richard, can you fill us in?
Absolutely. So the Madras High Court declared that cryptocurrency dealings are not illegal in India. So for a long time, cryptocurrency has been illegal in India. They've kind of flip-flopped for a while, and now it's kind of leaning back towards cryptocurrency being legal again in India. So this is a huge development for the Indian crypto market and could potentially open up new opportunities for Web3 projects in the country.
Absolutely. This is major. It's really interesting how these things seem to have a domino effect, right? We've seen sort of things warm up in the US and in sort of India. We know Hong Kong has sort of opened up. I don't think anyone wants to be left out on the sidelines of economic opportunity right now in a world of unknowns where it's not easy for countries to compete against each other economically.
Absolutely. And like you said, people want to participate in where the next phase of money is coming from. And a lot of people see with, the Bitcoin ETF that just got approved, and now the Ethereum ETF, which goes live July 2nd, getting approved. The world's paying attention. And so they want to be able to participate in this. And it's what's more incredible is it's like all of this in India started because of a case that involved a Ponzi scheme. And so they've been trying to protect and understand what's going on. And it seems that the tide is shifting back into crypto being seen as a trusted opportunity for investment.
That's really interesting. So, we've seen cases, of course, where sentiment has gotten more negative because of that type of news. But what you're saying in this case, it was determined what the ruling on the Ponzi scheme was what exactly? Can you fill me in?
Yeah, so years ago, there was a Ponzi scheme that got exploited from a major Indian exchange, and it basically caused the regulators to go in and say, okay, we're just shutting down all of crypto. But after seeing what happened in the States with FTX and how we've kind of turned the corner on that, and again, starting to get more regulation in place, the market's maturing. So it's just taking time, but again, people are now starting to change the sentiment around how can we incorporate this in a safe way. And it looks like India's starting to warm up to the idea of cryptocurrency.
Well, look, you've got places like Turkey and Vietnam and other spots in Southeast Asia where blockchain is a hot topic these days. Of course, the Philippines. So I think bringing India on board is a major increase in the population that is able to sort of benefit from this technology. I think this will have a wide-ranging impact on gaming, on sort of token economies of all types. Hopefully, gives a little bit more life to NFTs. Even I'm curious how that plays out, but this is a very digital native population. It's a very advanced technological population. A lot of the development in our space is already happening in that space, in that country. So I think this is going to take a little time for us to see the full impact, but I'm optimistic.
I am too. Ultimately, I think this ruling is going to make a significant change in India's stance on crypto, and it's going to start to be a turning point towards the digital asset ecosystem in that region, just because there is so much economic impact that could come with more regulation being set up for crypto to be traded in that region in a safe and secure way. So I think it was worth paying attention to this and seeing how this all unfurls. And I'm excited, man. I think there's also going to be a cause for more types of events and people within the crypto industry going to India to help this next wave of crypto investment that will surely come if everything becomes legal.
Absolutely. Well, great point. And speaking of security, let's move on to a security issue that our viewers need to be aware of. A fake Phantom Wallet app recently made its way onto the Apple App Store, causing some serious problems.
That's right, man. This fraudulent app was draining users' crypto assets, and it would happen when they would attempt to recover their accounts using private keys. And so one of the challenges that has occurred for a long time as it relates to Apple is the controversy around taking a percentage of transactions because of the App Store. They have a certain fee that comes through. So someone was able to come in and create a wallet that ultimately was an app drainer, and it's unfortunate that it made it all and cleared all the way through the App Store. So one of the things that Apple has been trying to be very cognizant of is not allowing something like this to happen. So it actually might cause red flags and for Apple to pull back again towards future crypto wallets and other crypto apps that try to hit its App Store, which is unfortunate.
That's a bummer. And there's a lot of blockchain technology on the App Store. There's a lot of crypto native applications now, wallets that you can get access to via a widget on a Chrome browser, or you can sort of use the desktop version, or you can use the apps online. And I think that's been a real benefit to the space because you kind of meet people where they are. But this is definitely a step back in terms of a deceptive tactic like this that's going to make people wary of any kind of app related to blockchain.
It is, and the saddest thing about it is when you think about a lot of scams that are happening right now, it's sending like emails that look like they're from legitimate sources, whether that's from Coinbase, Kraken, whatever, and you have to really like go into the sender and see like maybe they switched 2 letters or whatever. Imagine that, but in the App Store, they made a similar wallet, Phantom Wallet app, where everyone thought like, oh, this is my Phantom Wallet map. So as soon as you input your private keys to restore your Phantom Wallet into it, they basically would just drain you immediately. Unfortunately, one of the people, like a high-level profile victim, a guy named Mende Mateus, who is the co-founder of Dubai Blockchain Center.
Yeah, we know him actually. I spoke on a panel with him last time I was in Dubai, and yeah, sorry to interrupt, but we're
all good. He reportedly lost over $100,000 of funds, so it sucks to see that happen to friends.
Yeah, it's sad when any there's any victim. Of course, it hits closer to home when it's someone but that should be an indication for everyone to sort of just be careful with everything you do in society. Like I talk about this with even food. Like there's so much food out there that is not actually safe for human consumption. You got to check the labels. You got to look at the sources. We're at a point in our society where there's a proliferation of opportunity and in things to sort of dabble with, and it's so easy. I'm getting more and more phishing schemes in my email box than ever before. And this is not just across blockchain. This is across every type of technology and sort of affects e-commerce and whatnot. So, of course, we don't have the same insurance mechanisms with blockchain yet that we have with like a credit card fraudulent charge per se. It is what it is. So just extra vigilance during this season of crypto is really important. We still have a lot of work to do to sort of make blockchain safe for global consumption among a broad audience. And please be careful to only download apps from verified developers that and use sort of a burner wallet if you're interacting with an unfamiliar site. So this is another tip that I'd like to share with folks. We're at a point where you need multiple wallets. You might have your cold wallet, you have your hot wallets. An example hot wallet, of course, is MetaMask. But even if you have MetaMask wallet, use multiple wallets, especially when you're doing more experimental things with new technologies and new programs. So little tip for folks. But is there any positive news that we can shift to, Richard?
There's absolutely some positive news. So Coinbase and Stripe have announced a partnership aimed at increasing global crypto adoption. What's your thoughts on that?
That's interesting. So I feel like Stripe has been pretty pioneering. We use Stripe for some of our sort of events and programs that we participate in, and they've been trying to push the envelope similar to Venmo and PayPal. But this is a big one. What are the details?
Yeah, so the collaboration is aiming to expand cryptocurrency adoption in over 150 countries, which is awesome. Obviously, that's going to expand to a much wider audience globally, and just improving the infrastructure by focusing on providing faster and cheaper financial infrastructure that addresses some of the current barriers to crypto adoption. And one of the larger things is the USDC integration. So Stripe is adding USDC on Base to its crypto payouts product and enabling platforms to make more efficient money transfers globally.
This is fascinating. We've had Sui on our show, and they're really sort of pushing hard in the e-commerce realm. Aptos is doing a lot there. Coinbase, I've seen a shift in their sort of creative energy. It sort of feels to me like they've gone from the old Microsoft sort of philosophy to the new Microsoft philosophy in a lot of ways, where they got lean during the bear market and they're coming back really innovative. What are your thoughts there?
Man, one of the narratives of this bull cycle so far has been Base. Base, which is their layer 2 solution that they created, that is having a ton of things being built on it. Every time that we've gone to a conference this year, we've seen Base in some capacity, and people talking about all of the opportunities of the grants and other ways that people can be more involved on building there. And so they're really laying down the framework for having more creative solutions being built on top of their layer 2 solution they've made.
Yeah, I think this is definitely positive when it comes to the potential ability to accelerate crypto adoption among both individuals and businesses globally. This solves a lot of problems and sort of deals with this sort of issue of all these brands on the sidelines concerned about security and how this gets into their standard way of accounting when you buy a t-shirt and you buy a watch. And yeah, it'd be great to have a PFP on that watch, but and to allow people that are crypto native to purchase. But how do you make sure you balance the books and report to your stockholders and deal with sort of all that accounting stuff? And so Stripe, as that go-between, using a traditional individual, let them deal with the mess. You just get a payment from Stripe. So as I start to think through the implications here, I think this could be pretty big. And I think that's a great positive light to end today's hot topics. And we've covered the pulse of Web3, from landmark rulings to security alerts and game-changing partnerships.
Now it's your turn. So what's your take? Will India's stance spark a crypto revolution? How are you protecting your digital assets? Could Coinbase-Stripe alliance unlock mainstream adoption?
Share your thoughts in the comments or on social media. Your voice absolutely shapes this space, so stay curious, stay secure, and keep pushing Web3 boundaries. This is Josh and Richard signing off from Edge of NFT. Catch you on the flip side of the blockchain.
The views and opinions expressed on Edge of NFT reflect solely those views and opinions of the show hosts and its guests. Please make sure to do your own research. Our show is not financial advice. You understand that you are using any and all information available on or through this podcast at your own risk. Whenever making financial decisions, we recommend doing your own research and talking to your accountant for financial advice. From time to time, we may feature sponsored content on the show for which we receive value, and we may share links for which we receive a commission if you make a purchase through one of those links. Refer to our website, www.edgeofnft.com, for our full disclaimer, terms and conditions, and privacy policy.